intelligence agencies. I still seek to work with your departments, and I don't know very many of you. I know ICE, I know FBI, I know CIA. After watching the movie Kingsman, I'm sure there are some that go deeper. So, you all that are making that very high tech equipment, I want to be back there working with you in the forensics department with psychological cases, with solving murders. You know, like when people are medically murdered, let's say you're trying to find out what really happened to Michael Jackson or Prince, you know, people who have money and they have entire conglomerates that come together to steal their estate and kill them. I would be very helpful to help you identify those people. As I am looking through my identity theft and I go through the computer, it's like 30 base names and they've turned it into 300 identities. And when I do computer searches, I see the combination of the names that they've made to make new identities. And I'm assuming they sold these identities on the dark web. I don't know how that works. I would like to be able to go into the dark web and see how it is set up, and I can better help you by knowing the infrastructure. I have only been introduced to the dark web one time. I was looking for a baby daddy to get some child support from. I asked my nephew to help me. We had to go put money on a Bitcoin machine, and then we went on the dark web and put his name in. And was his social security there? I think his social security was gone. Maybe it was there, but I know I can't remember. Why can't I remember? Was his social security on the dark web? Yes, it was still there. It was there, so I thought, well, maybe he's dead. And that was Clarence Joseph Washington Jr., who is from Hitchcock, Texas, by way of Galveston, Texas. I know those are his hometowns, Galvin, Hitchcock. And he lived in New York, had a dojo there. And when I met him, they were living in Lakeland. So that's the only time I've ever gone on the, and all I did was look at the screen, saw his name, I think saw the social security number, but I didn't have, it was no addresses or anything that were evident. And so I would like to go on the dark web. I even want to go and see what they posted up about me, this fake channel where they are alleging that I was a sex worker. I want to see that. And if they really did put up sexual clips from my life, which I've given nobody permission to put that on the internet with me in it, and if there's anything existing where I did that squirting thing, that could only be Thomas. That could only be Thomas. We were masturbating and I said, "Why are you holding the phone?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm looking at porno," which he lied. He was probably recording, and that makes me pretty angry. So if they did that, they were trying to soil my opportunity of being elected into the countywide District 7 school board seat. And because they held back my money, I didn't pay my filing fee, which, if you don't pay your filing fee, you don't make it to the ballot. And I didn't have the energy to stump the pavement and try to get 4,000 signatures. You can pay with signatures, which means you can pay with the sweat of your brow. You and your team stump the pavement, you get 4,000, and it depends on the filing fee in your area. This was countywide District 7, and so 4,000, it was roughly $4,000 or 4,000 signatures is what I needed to satisfy my filing fee. And I Did not get on the ballot. This is my second attempt to run for school board, and I knew I had inheritances and monies coming, so I was certain that I was going to be on the ballot this time. And a conglomerate of people, my fake friends and fraudulent family, worked to do a smear campaign, set up these different theatrical performances for people, my doppelgangers, for them to go out in public and act out, act crazy, so that it could be recorded formally that I was doing it, but it was really a doppelganger. So I have several of those instances. The Bloom thrift store keeps just pulsating in my head because a young lady came in. She was shorter than me, thinner than me, and she had permed hair, but they were going to still report her as being me. The only difference is with this is I was recording them and standing in the store laughing. So she kept talking about witchcraft. They doing witchcraft on me, and they talking out loud to herself, to an imaginary person, whatever. And then they told her she had to leave the store. She couldn't be in the store that long and not buy something. So they were trying to agitate her, even if she was just genuinely going off. You know, sometimes when I'm angry, I talk out loud to get the anger out of me. And so it's a pretty effective technique. Like you're holding a balloon and it has too much air in it, and you know if you keep putting air in that balloon, it's going to pop. You release it and you just let some of the air out, and that saves the balloon. So she was just talking and carrying on, and I said they trying, to set up some more of these staged events to prove I'm crazy, right? So I kept recording her. And there was a blind lady in there buying a picture, a huge picture off the wall. And I could tell there were several setups in the store. So I said, okay, let me pay attention. And there's a fat lady at the register. She tries to be messy. But since I've been recording her, she will now leave when I come in, and then she'll come back. So she is learning how to self-correct. I don't know if they're paying her, if they promised her that if you help us get her cased up, when we get access to her money, we're going to all eat. We're going to all have a good time. And so before leaving the store, I said, can you say to my camera for my YouTube fans that Aileen is not the one that was in the store being belligerent and got put out of the store? And she said, well, how could you be getting put out of the store when you're recording? I said, okay, no matter to me. And then when I left that store that day, I went to Sprouts, and a lady who was following me at the gym, she came to the hot tub, her and some Spanish man. He dropped something down to the bottom. I think they were planning to stab me in the hot tub. He was against the east wall of the hot tub. My back was against the south wall of the hot tub. She was entering from the west into the hot tub, and she was moving slow. And he said to her, do you need help getting in? I will help you if you need help. And then whatever he had in his jockey shorts dropped, and she put her head down like, I cannot believe he dropped it. At first, I thought he was like getting a hard on and adjusting his penis so that, we couldn't see it. But it didn't make any sense because you can't really see down in the water. It's kind of clear and it's kind of cloudy because the bubbles are, percolating. So what they thought was going to happen is when he said, do you need help getting in the pool? I'll help you. I was supposed to say, oh, I'll help you, and then give him my back. And then he could stab the shit out of me, push me down in the bottom of the water, and they could, make sure I was dead, get out the water and go on about their business. But God said, bitch, you better not leave, because I always put my bag on that little seat lift. Like if people are handicapped or whatever, they can still get into the water with this seat that's on the side of the whirlpool hot tub. So I put my bag there because I carry my shit in there. They were following me real heavy back then. And Tarot was suggesting that they were trying to inject me with AIDS tainted blood. They were trying to kidnap me. Somebody was going to shank me up. So I'm like, all right, well, you might come, but you will not be leaving. if I'm going to be laid down, at least one of y'all going to be laid down with me. I promise you that. So I carried my bag, my clothes, everything that came with me was in the seat. So they were looking like, well, what does she have over there in that bag? Yeah, you need to wonder. You need to wonder. And so I didn't offer her shit. You got your ass in the hot tub. They got a rail. You better get in here best way you can. And she got down in there, and whatever was at the bottom of that hot tub, I didn't pick it up. Because after she asked me 15 questions, how much do you weigh, how tall are you, and all of this shit, I'm like, she's sizing me up to find another doppelganger, huh? He got out the whirlpool shortly after. And when I got out, I didn't, like try to go down into the bottom or anything. I got out and I was like, wow, they gonna make it so I can't even come to the pool. Now, at that time, I could wear a size 8. Now, without me exercising, I am up to a 12, maybe even further. But it's better to be a little chunky than to be dead or almost dead, laying somewhere trying to recuperate from being stabbed several times. And after that, they sent a young man into the pool, a little boy, like he looked like he was 14 or 15. I'm like, oh my God. And he kept holding a camera up. I said, I don't want to be recorded. No, it's not on camera. Like, bitch, just because you got a black screen, your camera can't be recording. Who's retarded, you or me? And so I decided, let me get out the tub because I don't know what this little boy's on. I had my face in the water, my ass was up, and I was kicking, strengthening my thighs, just kicking in the water. And I believe he was recording me. So I got very uncomfortable. I got out of the whirlpool and walked over